the senators used to auction themselves in the open road to say, come on, this is my price today, who is willing to pay? That is the democracy which has evolved into the best democracy in the world. Everybody goes through that process. America also went through that process, but they developed a nation out of a no tradition situation. And this model was being advocated to the world. Destroy traditions, you build a new modern society. A direct contrast is Japan. You know, Japan is a nation which is as developed, as economically competent, as technologically competent. In every sense of the term, it matches America. And you see the way these two nations as contrast, following the same model, following the same ideas, following the same technology, and not even competing with each other, working with each other, how they have evolved. Today, Japan's banked savings is $12.5 trillion. $12.5 trillion is their cash savings. And America's debt before September last year was $12.5 trillion, almost equal. And today America's debt is immeasurable. They say if you take all these nationalized or semi-nationalized bank and financial system into account, it will be something like $30 trillion. You can understand the extent of debt into which America has got into, and no one knows, including Americans, as to how they are going to handle the situation. They keep on printing dollars. In just between September and December last year, their monetary expansion was $1.4 trillion. Just print notes. The amount of dollars printed between 1913 and 1995 was $400 billion. And the amount of dollars printed in the next 10 years was $400 billion. And we don't know what is the amount of dollars that are being printed now. In the year 2002, when Berman came, who is the US Federal Reserve System today, he made a fantastic and unimaginable speech that America has the method of conducting its economy. We have a mechanism called the printing machine. We don't even need it today. We have the digital way of generating dollars. On the one side, you see a completely irresponsible, reckless monetary model of borrowing and spending. And this model was being advocated to the world. Not only the financial model, the financial products that flew out of it, and a completely different model on the other. I'll give you just two examples. In the year 1954, the number of American families which are hooked to the stock market was just 5.4% of the total American families. This remained almost constant till 1980. Then the whole situation began changing. They began cutting down the interest rates to force the savers to get into the stock market to seek higher returns. In the year 1990, 25% of American families got into stock market. They cut down the interest rate to 1% in 2001. 55% of the American families went into stock market. And by 2006, the American families found there was no meaning in saving. And there was a net deficit in savings in America. The families got into debt. All the monies which the families used to save shifted to the corporate. If you look at the total American savings, it was about $512 billion. And the families were in debt to the extent of $112 billion in the year 2006. So you can understand all the money shifted to the corporate because the interest rates were slashed. When the interest rate is slashed, there is no purpose or meaning in savings. Not only interest rate is slashed on savings, it was also slashed for the spenders, and so it became easy for people who were holding the plastic money to spend more. With the result, the total American families are about 110 million families. Total number of families in America. They have about 1.2 billion credit cards. You can understand 110 million families having 120 billion credit cards, 1,200 million credit cards.